Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of the CW's The Originals. This week we've seen Season 3, Episode 7, which was entitled Out of the Easy. And, so both this week's episodes of The Vampire Diaries and The Originals, had sort of a Thanksgiving theme going on, with Damon and Stefan having Lily over for Thanksgiving, supposedly. And, of course, with the very awkward Thanksgiving meal we witnessed with the Michelsons, Tristan and Aurora, and as well as Lucien, I guess. So both had the holiday theme going on, but which one fared better? Well, it's hard to say which episode I overall liked better from both shows this week. I thought they were both pretty solid. But I will say that the Originals did use the whole Thanksgiving theme a bit better. Because I thought the whole Thanksgiving dinner with Klaus and Elijah inviting, Tristan and Aurora over, I thought that was very awkward and pretty intense, way of trying to get answers out of them on Rebekah's location. But yeah, I did overall enjoy this episode. It wasn't, great, it wasn't, very good, even. It was good, trust me. Don't get me wrong, there were some good moments I did like in it. I thought the ending in particular was, pretty exciting and stuff like that, but I'm sort of at a point with both shows where I still haven't seen something absolutely amazing from either season yet. And I don't want to say it's both shows are going down or anything like that. The Vampire Diaries might be dipping a little, but it's still been a decent season so far. And the Originals still very consistent with its acting and writing, I think. So let's get into it. Of course, Klaus and Elijah set the whole dinner up as a way to turn, the alliance that, Tristan and Lucien have around, thus turning Tristan and Lucien against each other. Of course, Klaus still wants to keep Aurora close because he feels like that could be a better position to control her or, do something, if something's needed to be done with her or, and to figure out what exactly she knows. He feels like he's in a better position if, they're kind of, intertwining, I should say. Of course, Lucien is still holding Cami hostage, pretty much. Not hostage, really, but, is forcing her to help him and stuff like that. And he has a guy named Anton, guard her while he goes to dinner. Anton being, sort of a big, more burly black guy and stuff like that. Who he says is very dangerous, but really he just comes off like another vampire thug and stuff. So he wasn't really of any significance. But we'll get to more on what ended up happening with that in a little bit. Haley's wanting to go to dinner, mainly for the sake of Rebekah, because her and Rebekah did go closer, towards the end of Rebekah's main story. Yeah, and the last time she was really on it often. But Jackson, Jackson's sort of getting a little bit put off by the fact, more and more, that, Haley, despite everything Klaus has pulled with her and stuff like that, despite everything, she still is at the Michelsons' beck and call. And plus that, he just wants Haley to, spend the night with Kim and Hope and stuff like that. But she still wants to aid the Michelsons. So, we'll get to more on that. There's another scene on that towards the end of the episode. Of course, the dinner, like I said, is very awkward, intense, and stuff like that. I do find Rebekah Reeds plays Aurora, but I do find Aurora herself to be, a pretty good, female antagonist. I won't say she's, a great villain on the level of, a Michael or Dahlia yet or anything like that, but I do think she's enjoyable. And of course, Elijah and Klaus just keep on picking apart every single thing Tristan and Aurora try to make up, just calling out their lies, calling their BS, so I did enjoy that. As they're kind of joking and sort of being around the bush, Elijah also criticizes Klaus's stuffing. He questions him putting walnuts in it. So that was one of the funnier parts of the episode. Of course, Elijah and Klaus still aren't on good terms, but I feel like they're starting to move forward a little bit, I'm hoping. And it's just good to see them going back and forth with each other like that again, as they're both, playing mind games and trying to manipulate and go for a common goal and stuff. So I'm glad they're at least working together again right now, Of course, another thing with this dinner was Aurora, heard about Cami for the first time, and she's like really immediately jealous and eager to find out who this Cami girl is, who apparently has Klaus's affections. And this shocks her, especially because, she basically thinks of herself as Klaus's like long lost, love of his life and stuff like that, but yet she sees he has affection and actual care for this woman. We'll see more on that, what happens at the end of the episode because of that. And I also you guys know I'm annoyed by Davina, so I like the scene with Vincent coming up to Davina and basically saying how I can't really word it the right way, but how she's been kind of irrational with her anger and her choices lately. So I just really like Vincent, just sort of saying what I've been thinking in a more polite way, perhaps. So Vincent's kind of coming in as her mentor again, like he was originally supposed to be at the start. Of course, Aurora reveals that she actually apparently put Rebekah at the bottom of the ocean. Of course, that won't kill Rebekah, but she actually doesn't have a specific idea of where exactly she had her people drop her. We found out more about that later in the episode, though, and that just turns the whole... If you thought it was awkward before that dinner, that just makes it, very... I was really happy to see Klaus and Elijah both, but Klaus especially, and just get that struck a nerve, any threat against his dear sister Rebekah. I just really like the way Klaus reacts to that. Of course, Klaus also threatens Lucien if something actually does happen to Cami with him holding her there, because Lucien kind of admits to it. We see more on that later as well. Tristan proposes, that Klaus dagger Elijah, as this, at least until this whole prophecy thing plays out, so Klaus can better focus on how to defend himself and the rest of them. But Klaus also, Klaus is a master manipulator. He's an opportunist. He has pulled a lot of shit. He's still known as the most ruthless vampire in history. So he's able to see through a lot of other people's manipulation like that and stuff, which I always appreciate about the character. Just the way he looks at people when they're, they're kind of bullshitting him. Just Klaus, he's just pretty much a genius, really, I think. Which is why he was their biggest weapon against Dahlia and stuff like that, too. But, Klaus also sees it as a way that they could potentially think that Klaus is actually weaker when he doesn't have others helping them, because Klaus has come to realize that he perhaps does, need his family and stuff like that. So he's kind of less on the side of, daggering them for his convenience just to get him off his back and stuff like that. He has grown, since we first met him in the Vampire Diaries. Also, Elijah, remains convinced that even with this whole Aurora thing, that Klaus will always put his family first. But then Lucien points out that even after finding out about Aurora dropping Rebekah in the ocean, even though she's not dead, you'd think that Klaus would torture the information out of her, get pissed or do something against her, but he actually hasn't done anything to her yet, so that's somewhat questionable. But, Klaus, he'll end up doing the right thing in the end. And especially after this, he's not an Aurora fan at this point. Also, Freya and Haley try to torture Aurora and get some information about Rebekah out of her. It's cool to see Freya use her power, but Aurora actually ends up overwhelming the both of them. Haley thinks she's tough shit. Aurora just basically takes them both out and manages to escape. I do like Haley, but I still feel like she kind of has a Caroline and Davina part of her that I just think she's higher up than she is, or just more powerful than she is. I don't know. Davina, and I like strong female characters. There's Catherine and stuff like that, but we don't need to talk about that right now. Davina is also banished from her position as regent, as a way to take the focus off her, which is what Marcel and Vincent worked to do. She got pretty emotional about it, that upset her, but, I think this is, we'll see how this goes for her. They're both kind of feeling guilty about it, but we'll see where it goes. It was just good to see Davina put down a peg or two, And, also apparently Aurora and Tristan have the coordinates to Rebekah's location. One of them has longitude, the other has latitude. And so we'll see if our boys are able to find out about that. Okay. And finally, Klaus really steps up. He snaps Tristan's neck and just demands Rebekah's location from Aurora. So finally, we see the real Klaus come out against Aurora, despite all the feelings he had for her. They're pretty much not gone, but he's pretty much anti-Aurora at this point, so I was pretty happy about that. That was a cool scene. And Klaus also threatens Lucien again that if something does happen to Cami, he basically said he'll do things that'll make the devil weep. And trust me, that sounded a lot more badass and cool than me butchering it did just now. So that was a really cool line. I like that. And Joseph Morgan's delivery is always top notch. I love him as an actor. And also, Cami acts like she's drunk, but she ends up taking off some of Anton's fingers, and also slips his ring off so she can't chase him out of the apartment. So he can't chase her out of the apartment, I mean. But she accidentally runs into Aurora, of course, who, bites her, but, doesn't fully kill her and puts her in the trunk. Klaus kills Anton. Lucien actually gives Klaus the medallion, for a show of good faith that, Klaus can trust Lucien, but I don't know, we'll see how that part goes. Of course, we know that Aurora abducted Cami, and Klaus, he's starting to show how much he really cares about her again. He's really desperate to find her, he's calling her and stuff like that. So I'm hoping this finally leads to something between them two, definitively, Klaus and Cami, but we'll see. I still feel like they could be a good long-term couple for the show. Sort of like, they kind of balance each other out too, and Cami is able to actually understand Klaus, and I don't want to talk about shipping right now, but I do hope it happens. Of course, Jackson is still upset over Haley for missing the dinner, and he's kind of put off by how much he still cares about the Michelsons and wants to help them, despite what Klaus has always put her and the rest of them through. But yeah, overall, a very good episode. I know I said decent at the beginning, but I do think this is a pretty good one. Not great. Still haven't seen anything absolutely great from either of the seasons so far, but they've been decent all the way through, both of them, I think. And this is one of the better ones so far, I think, of the originals. Again, we're going to have to wait till December 3rd to see new episodes of both this and the Vampire Diaries, so it's going to be kind of tough, but it's only a week off. So I do hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving, but I'll probably be doing other videos before then. Before December 3rd, of course, with my Walking Dead stuff. And I'm also going to try to do a video review of Z Nation tomorrow night, but we'll see. My girlfriend's not coming over till Saturday, so I may have time for that tomorrow night. We'll see, though, no guarantees. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Add me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, moviepilot, and look for ensued.com. Catch you guys next time, and peace.